Hi, I'm MJ from Lioness Publications, and we're going to be looking at Macron in France. I've been meaning to do him for, about a week now, because he has moved from a relatively insignificant role years ago to a very significant presence on the world stage. So I just wanted to bring up some things in his chart. And I also have these charts on my website. So if you look at the description for this video, it will give you the link. You'll probably have to copy and paste it into the browser, but it should take you to the place where these charts are located. Now, they're not going to have the colors on them, so you're going to have to sort of try and identify where they are. And it does take a little bit of time to upload them to my website. So if it's not something that people are using, I may not continue doing that. So we're going to look at three charts. The natal chart with the transits, we're going to look at the progressions, and we're going to look at the solar arc. So first, on the natal chart with the transits, one big thing that has occurred right over here. We had Pluto move into Macron's first house. That's pretty important. It shows that there was a dramatic shift in his visibility, in his power, his personal power. So that shifted when he became more known on the world stage, when he started stepping up to take control of things. So that's pretty important. Now, the next thing we have is over here, we have both Neptune and Saturn actually making an inconjunct to his Saturn. Now, the Neptune inks Saturn. Neptune is illusion, Saturn is structure. He's finding that his rules or his structure no longer applies in the world he's facing. So, in effect, Neptune is dissolving the structure that he knows. So it's dissolving who's taking care of the world, who's stepping up to make deals. So all of that is pretty much changing. The next thing we have here is Saturn making the inconjunct to Saturn. Now, in this case, it is structure going in a break and adjust angle to structure. What does that mean? It means the types of ways that we operate have to change. And in this case, he has to change quickly. So again, the rules are not applying. His structure has changed, and it needs to, in effect, deal with the world as it is. Now, the next thing we have here is Uranus is squaring Saturn. His Saturn is getting hit pretty hard. And that's his structure. So he has to learn to move out of what he had and to create new ways of dealing with the world. So Uranus, those are the changes that are happening. Now, next thing we have here is Saturn is also squaring Jupiter. So Saturn is restrictions, Jupiter is, in effect, exuberance, too much. So now we have, in this case, it's a square, so it's not friendly. That means that having too little restricted versus opportunities are not able to gel well. So what happens is you actually have to pull in what you can do so you can get something done. And he's probably finding that out. He's probably finding out that, in this case, promising the world or over-promising is not a good idea. Same thing as maybe even under-promising. You have to look at what you can accomplish and provide that. Now, the next thing we have, I think I touched on everything. Yes, touched on everything I want to talk about here. So let's go on to the progression. The progression here, only one thing I want to talk about, and that's the Sun in opposition. Sun trine to Pluto. That is nice in that Pluto is a strong point in your chart if it has good angles. In this case, Sun making a good angle to Pluto, in effect, is going to provide a lot of confidence to him. It's going to give him a magnetic presence. It's also going to give him an inner strength to be able to deal with what he has going on. So this is a big positive. Now, the Sun is actually just about, not quite a point off, which is less than a year. So he's been dealing with this for a while, meaning probably since the time that he knew Trump was going to be elected. So he was already looking at how to handle the new situation. So let's take a look at our solar arc next. And in this case, first thing I want to point out, up here at the top, we have the North Node. Yeah, that's a karma point. Coming up to hit what's called the midheaven. That's your status in the world. The node hitting that, that's where he's taking in. So he's coming up to have a legacy type of point, a legacy type of event in his life. So he's going to have a spotlight. He's going to be very visible for a good portion of this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if he steps up and does even more with Ukraine, maybe with Iran, Israel. So again, he's coming into his own. The chart has a lot of difficult angles, but it does have some good angles to help him through that. Now, we also have a really interesting one here, and that's Uranus here in a trine to fate. Trine is a nice angle. Uranus, unexpected. Fate, destiny. So he's coming up to a point where he can, in effect, have a event that could be termed he was destined for that. So hopefully he'll be able to step up and take advantage of it. Now we also have Mars that is squaring his Mercury and Sun. This is a little difficult. He's trying to push action, and this is coming out through his Sun and his Mercury. But what's happening is it's like he's calling himself to action, but there's too much tense stuff going on. So it results in tension. It's like he's trying to make deals, but the deals are being changed. So it's hard to step and get this in tune with what he wants. The next thing we have is Venus opposing Mars here. So you have Venus and Mars. In this case, tension in relationships, but it really calls forth that there are power dynamics going on. And there have been. Him and Trump seem to have sort of an easy type of friendship, but also it's very one-up there. So I can see that, again, this could be friendly, but it is a conflict. So they are trying to sort of, one-up each other. So I wanted to do Macron because he is a very important man at this time in his life and in the world. He has stepped up when Trump has come back, and he's taken some leadership along with the rest of EU. And it's not just him in EU. There are a lot of important leaders there that have stepped up to take over the slack from what the United States has presented to the world. Now, in addition to stepping up, they're also being dealt blows from the terms of trade and a few other things. But bear in mind that they're not the only ones that are going to be bearing the brunt of that. The United States is too. The United States started sort of a war that they're probably not going to win here with the trade. The thing with Iran is also, if you follow the other videos, that's probably not going to go well either. Now, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you've been asking about access to the charts, I have them out on my website. I will link the address on the introduction, on the description of this video. And if I find people are not using it, then I probably won't continue it, because it does take quite a while to set, to pop them up there. It's not like 2 minutes. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye now.